time for Angels spring training baseball this afternoon from Maryvale Ballpark. The Angels are on the road in Cactus League play to take on the Milwaukee Brewers. Another picture-perfect day here in the Valley as the Angels are set for this road game. They'll play the Brewers, who they beat just a couple days ago. The Angels put a 15 spot on Milwaukee in that game at Tempe Diablo. And Mark, talking about offense, obviously that's been a big story for the Angels so far this spring. 20 runs for the Angels in the last two games coming into this one. Very aggressive approach at the plate and also running the bases.
Well, there's no doubt about it. You're exactly right, Terry. What this team is doing, swinging the bat and aggressive, and had a chance to talk to Ron Renick earlier today about what they've been doing as far as putting pressure on the other team's defense.
First couple days were a little weird, and after that, felt right at home again. Players, not too many players back from when I was here, but the coaching staff and the front office people. So it's been real nice.
So Ron, we talked a lot about here in camp, see how aggressive everyone seems to be as far as running bases going first or third. You're seeing some bunts, some stealing. How big is that for yourself to be able to help the guys with that, and how big is it for the team to be successful?
Well, I think part of the reason that I had decided to come back was some of the reasons that I like coaching third base, which is a lot of action. I don't want to be out at third base if nothing's happening, if we're going station to station. That doesn't appeal to me. So my decision to come back was a lot on, I know how Mike likes to run the game. I know the personnel that we have some guys that would like to do some more things. And this spring we've been doing a lot. I've probably had too much action. I've missed a couple signs from Mike. He surprised me at times, but I love it. I think today's game is getting harder to score runs, and I think anytime you can manufacture a run, you can win a lot of ball games doing that.
So when you see, you're trying to be aggressive, when you're trying to steal bases, I know you've always been really good at this, picking those nuggets of like a pitcher, what they're trying to do. How do you be able to relay that over to your guys at first base or even second base to be able to get that jump, and how important is that for you to have that communication?
Well, the communication certainly is important during the game, but before the game more so. We've got so much video on guys now. We have so much numbers on guys. We have counts that they like to throw breaking balls, and we've got all this information that if I can get to the players before the game and let them know ahead of time, so when they get out there, they've already got a plan that they know some of the pitchers they can run against. And now we don't have to get out there and kind of feel our way through it. We already have a plan going into it.
The other day, I know you had to feel good about it. Giovanni Soto is at first base on a long fly ball back to right center field. He tags off from first to second. That has to make you feel good as a third base coach now to have another guy in scoring position.
Well, really big play at the time, and bringing that up is great because I'm glad other people see it. It was a huge play at the time to get in scoring position. It was a close ball game. We get that guy to second base, and it's just as important as a stolen base. So anytime our guys can do that and they're aware of that long fly ball that's going to be caught, they can get back and tag and get in scoring position. And like I said, a run or two is going to make a big difference in these games.
The run, that shoulder's all ready to go to wave people home again this year, right?
Yeah, I wave my right hand because my left arm I have to save for BP. So the right arm's always working.
All right, Ron, appreciate it. Thanks, man. Good luck this year.
Okay, thank you.
Angels certainly are happy to have Ron Renick back as the third base coach, and some mixed emotions maybe for him today as the Angels take on his old club. He was the manager of the Milwaukee Brewers. Talking about offense, it always helps when the table setters get it going, and that's been happening all spring.
So important. Mike Trout had a great season last year, but when you think about it, if he had more guys on base, he definitely would have had a contention there for that MVP against Josh Donaldson, who had a lot more guys on base. We're going to see that, a lot more guys in scoring position because of that aggressive base running that Ron Renick was talking about.
Escobar, who's been on fire, and Daniel Nava as well, not in the lineup here today. A little bit different look as far as the top of the batting order. Well, the Angels and the Milwaukee Brewers get ready to kick it off here. We're just 2 weeks away from opening day at the Big A. Corey Rasmus will make a surprise start for the Angels today against Matt Garza. We'll have the lineups and the action next on Fox Sports West. Angels spring training baseball is on the air from Maryville Baseball Park here in Phoenix, Arizona. Your Angels taking on the Milwaukee Brewers. Hey there, Angels fans. I'm Patrick O'Neill. My first day of spring training. We are 2 weeks from opening day versus the Cubbies. Starting to get excited. I'm excited to see Andrelton Simmons play shortstop. It will not be today. He's going to be DHing. He's starting to get close. Got that sore arm. Mike Scioscia says he's going to get a full workout in. Maybe playing short tomorrow in Tempe, but probably Thursday. So either tomorrow at short or Thursday. Let's take a look at the Angels starting lineup here this afternoon. Leading off and DHing is going to be Andrelton Simmons, followed by Johnny Giavotella at second base. Of course, Mike Trout is in there playing center, followed by Cole Calhoun as the leadoff hitter and sporting a beard. Just told me it's the first time he's ever tried to grow one. He may keep it. It looks that good. C.J. Cron at first. Carlos Perez behind the dish. Cliff Pennington will play shortstop. Craig Gentry is in left. Ray Navarro, still a rookie, will be at third base and hitting ninth. As far as the Brewers are concerned, this is basically a lot of new faces on this Brewers team. Ramon Flores from the Yankees last year in their AAA. Aaron Hill came over from the D-backs. Ryan Braun, former MVP, hails from Granada Hills, will be hitting third. Chris Carter, who did some damage against the Angels in the past when he was with the Astros. He now joins the Brewers. Alex Presley will be in right field. Jake Elmore was with the Rays last year. Yadiel Rivera is at short. Manny Pena is catching. And their pitcher, Matt Garza, is hitting ninth. It should be a lot of fun. I'll see you for our post-game show, Angels Live. And now the guys calling the game, Mark Gubiza and Terry Smith.
The umpires here today calling balls and strikes will have Chris Siegel, and around the bases, Ted Barrett, Kerwin Danley, and Mike Everett as we get set for baseball here from Maryvale Baseball Park. We're kind of in the northwest part of Phoenix, and this ballpark, I know, Mark, you haven't been here too often. It's similar in a way to Tempe Diablo because the seats, when you walk into the stadium, you have to walk down all the seats, kind of built in a bowl.
Yeah, and it looks nice once you get here because it's kind of, when you drive up into the place, it doesn't seem like it'll be a major league type ballpark here, but it's fun. The dimensions are solid. You get to be able to crush the ball out there in the alley, especially in right center field at 400 mark, which I always like to see as a pitcher. 340 down the right field line, 350 down the left field line. So you got to hit the ball pretty hard, even though we've seen a lot of baseballs carry very well here in Cactus Bay.
So we are getting ready for baseball here at Maryvale Ballpark, and the first batter up for the Angels will be Andrelton Simmons, who's been swinging a hot bat. We're still waiting him to get back in the field. We mentioned during the lineups could be tomorrow, but maybe more realistically he'll play short for the Angels in the ball game Thursday. And first pitch today, it's a little bit low. We're underway, and the count 1 ball, no strikes. 350 down the left side, 340 down in the right field corner. It's about 400 to dead center. There's an area in right center where it's 400 as well. And the next pitch, this is chopped out near second. It's stopped there, and making the play is Jake Elmore to throw out Simmons, and that's the game's first out. It is 90 degrees at game time today. This very well could be the warmest day so far here in the Phoenix area in 2016.
I think you've said that now a couple days in a row. Each day it's getting a little bit warmer.
Yep.
Before, I think a little cool down. What is it coming up on Wednesday?
Yeah.
It's the time for the day off, right?
That's right. Angels will have a day off on Wednesday. Tomorrow the Angels will have split squads going, and one of those split squads will be playing in Salt Lake City, Utah against the Angels AAA club, the Bees.
Yeah, a couple of the guys from the Major League roster, some big names going to Salt Lake City. Mike Trout, Cole Calhoun, C.J. Cron, Garrett Richards, and Jet Bandy.
Yep, all those players had played for the Bees, working their way up to the Angels. Here's a ball driven deep into center field. Chasing after and unable to get to it is Flores, as Giavotella will make a turn at second and stop there with a one-out double. Johnny hit that ball hard to straightaway center field, so he's in scoring position for Mike Trout.
Yeah, I've been down here for about a week now, and it seems like every first inning there's at least one, if not more, extra base hits. And base hits just flying all over the place and squared up baseballs. It's a great swing for Johnny Giavitello, picking up a double.
So here's Trout. Mike's driven in 6 so far this spring. 11 hits, 31 times up. Infield is playing it backed up as Trout awaits the first delivery here from Garza. Here it comes, and he works him up and in, ball 1. Garza, fastball, he'll top out around 94. Good slider, good curveball, throw a changeup. Had a very disappointing year a year ago, though. Just 6-14. Eventually lost his spot in their rotation. And here's his next delivery. It's a breaking pitch, a little bit low. It misses for a ball.
In Milwaukee with the shift on now, with Mike Trout at the plate, moved over, especially after the first pitch. 1-0 count, now 2-0 count, anticipating Trout trying to pull a fastball now on a good fastball count.
Here's the next one on Mike, and that's a fastball he checks on. They want an appeal. They get it, but they say he was holding, so Trout now has worked the count. 3 balls, no strikes.
One thing, Terry, that Trout has not done in his career early on here is swing a line on a 3-0 pitch. I wonder if we'll let it go here now.
Garza delivers. Trout does chase it. He had the green light and fouls it off just to
and he tried
right.
to hit back up at us. Said, yeah, I will swing at some 3-0s this year. We often wondered, especially when pitchers are just trying to be perfect against them. Every once in a while, when you're at a 3-0 count, you'll think, let's still get over fastball. And Trout has taken that a lot. And all of a sudden, you see a little more aggressive there, and he jumped on that when he found it straight back.
So 3-1 on Trout. Next pitch, and that is inside. A 5-pitch walk. 2 on for the Angels, 1 out. Cole Calhoun will be the next batter. Calhoun, 13 for 37. And he has driven in 4 runs. He's in an RBI situation right here. Garza's last appearance for Milwaukee was against the White Sox, and he went 4 innings in that ball game, scoreless, allowing just 2 hits and got a win. That was a game last Wednesday. Garza has had some control issues this spring. He's walked about a batter an inning, and here's a little squibber. It's going to go through into left field. Coming in and scoring from second, Giavitello. Going first to third, Trout. Ball wasn't hit that sharply, but it was in between Rivera and Hill, the left side of the infield, and it just rolled softly into left. It's 1-0 Angels.
Well, right there, nice little at bat for Cole going on that first pitch. Just hit a ball in between. You mentioned the hole between short and third, and right on cue. What we talked about with Ron Renicky, Mike Trout goes from first to third on a ground ball hit to the left fielder. Granted, it wasn't hit hard, but still, that's aggressive base running. You saw both infielders going back and away from the base, decide to take that extra base and get to first and third.
So stepping up to the plate now with a chance to do some damage is C.J. Cron. Runners at first and third. The pitch, that's low. Good stop on it by the catcher, Manny Pena. Mentioned at the top, the Angels have been one of the hottest teams of late here in Cactus League play, and the Angels have lost only once in the last 11 games this spring. Been a bunch of ties in that 11-game stretch. There goes Cole Calhoun. Pitch is cut on, fouled off on the right side, and the count 1-1.
And the way this club is running right now, I don't think that's going to stop once the regular season comes around. A lot of times you'll see things numbers-wise, hits, home runs in Arizona, but not base running. You're going to see this quite a bit, especially the way they're swinging the bats right now, if they can carry it into the season.
They have the shift on. 3 infielders on the left side. There goes Calhoun again, and there's a base hit the opposite way into right field. Trout will score. Calhoun will easily go first to third. Boy, the Angels going the opposite way with the last 2 batters driving in runs. It's 2-0 Angels.
And putting people in motion. Great decision by Mike Scioscia once again. As Cole's going on the pitch, but even a better swing there from C.J. Cron. I'll tell you what, right now Dave Hansen Paul Sorrento, Mike Scioscia had to feel absolutely great about that swing from C.J. Cron to staying back and punching that ball through the hole with the shift on, easy allowing Cole Calhoun to go first to third.
Well, the Angels put a 15 spot on the board against the Brewers just a couple days ago at Tempe Diablo. That was the game Saturday, and already 2 first-inning runs here today. Chance to get more. Runners at the corners. 6th batter up in the inning is Perez, and Carlos takes the first pitch inside. It's 1-0.
Well, there was a time when Matt Garza had a lot of success against the Angels, especially when he was pitching for at that point, the Devil Rays.
Right. Pitched a no-hitter with Tampa Bay against the Tigers in 2010. There's a little flare foul over on the first base side. Gary DiSarcina.
And you got C.J. Cron was going again.
Yeah, he was on the move. Around the infield for Milwaukee, they have Chris Carter at first, Jake Elmore at second, Aaron Hill is the third baseman, Yadiel Rivera is the shortstop. They have Ryan Braun in left, Ramon Flores in right, Flores in center, and Alex Presley in right. Manny Pena, the catcher. Garza on the mound. There's a check swing, a little bouncer hit to the first baseman. Carter goes to second for one. Relay to first, and out is the batter Perez. Boy, that was an acrobatic stop right there by the pitcher covering first to end the inning. Angels have to settle for a couple here in the top of the first. We're going to the bottom of the first inning. 2-0 Angels on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Corey Rasmus, who is the starting pitcher today for the Angels, is staked to a 2-0 lead against this Brewers split squad. It'll be Flores, Hill, and Braun here in the bottom of the first. Angels have Cron at first base. Johnny Giavotella plays second. Ray Navarro is the third baseman with Cliff Pennington at shortstop. Craig Gentry in left, Mike Trout in center, Cole Calhoun in right. Carlos Perez is catching. And the first pitch from Rasmus right in there for a called strike. Rasmus, 28 years old, 6 foot even, 200-pounder. And he's done a nice job so far this spring. This is his 7th appearance, first start. Pitch on its way. That one is ripped foul over by the first base umpire over there, who had a kind of sidestep that one.
And Rasmus has done a nice job when Mike Scioscia has called upon him to do one of these spot starts. Remember a couple of years ago, did a solid job as the 5th starter. 4 quality pitches. He keeps that fastball down. Very effective, but a curveball, slider, very, very good changeup.
Rasmus working exclusively from the stretch, delivers, and that's inside. Rasmus kind of in the same category in a way of a Mike Morin, a guy who had a very good 2014 season, not nearly as good for, in the case of Corey, injury-related 2015 season, but looking to bounce back this year. There's a breaking ball hit on the right side, backhanded by Giavitello, off his glove, recovers, throws, and still has time to get Flores. Giavitello never gave up on that one and gets the out for out number one.
And that's all Mike Scioscia wants to see out of Johnny Giavitello defensively this season, is making that routine play. Knocked that one down, didn't panic. Was able to recover quickly enough to throw out Flores going down the line. So solid play on the comeback on that play by Johnny Giavitello.
Aaron Hill, the next batter. He's playing third base for the Brewers today. And here's the pitch. That's popped foul on the right side, backing out of play. Fans, be a winner and play in the Gardens Casino new Omaha Progressive Jackpot. Visit thegardenscasino.com for more info, and please play responsibly. Hill came over this spring from the Diamondbacks. That was the Gene Segura deal. And here's the pitch. That's inside and misses.
It's interesting how the defense alignment is against Hill. You have the shortstop and third base playing on the pole, but still Giavitello is still on that right side of the infield.
Here's the next delivery. That's high. 2-0 the count. Angels have kept Albert Pujols, Yunel Escobar, Daniel Nava back in Tempe today. They did not travel for the ball game. And here's the pitch. That's a little bit low and away. And I guess we got some news today on Tyler Skaggs. Some pretty exciting news.
Great news. He was supposed to throw in a minor league game on Thursday. Instead, he's going to pitch in a major league game, a Cactus League game, pitch that 7th and 8th inning, potentially 2 innings. And he's extremely excited about that opportunity.
That'll be Thursday against the White Sox. Angels will be on the road that day. There's a fastball that missed inside on Hill, so he will trot to first with a 1-out walk. And Ryan Braun will be the next batter.
Talking to Jerry Weaver today, felt good. Took some positives out of his start yesterday in 4 innings in a minor league game.
So here's Braun, and he has had only 5 at-bats so far this spring. They've taken things very slowly with him, coming back from back surgery that he had after last season. Braun had 25 homers, 84 driven in last year, and he lines a base hit into left field. That was a low liner that got by the left side of the infield, bounces out to Gentry. So Hill up to second. Braun has had 6 at-bats now this spring with 4 hits. And Chris Carter, the cleanup batter, will step up.
Yeah, it looked like a high slider. He's always been a hitter where anything elevated, he will hit hard. And he can hit a long way.
So Carter stepping up. He's had 3 home runs this spring. He's a guy who's hurt the Angels in the past when he was with the Astros. Carter got off to a dreadful start last year with the Houston Astros. Here's the pitch, and that is a strike on the outside corner. He ended up hitting 199, but he got off to a 3-for-42 start last year with no runs batted in.
That's not a real good start.
No. That's hard to dig out of that. 1 strike to count on him. And that's a little bit low, framed by Carlos Perez. 1-1 to count. Chris Carter has always been a very streaky hitter. Tremendous power, but also a guy who will swing and miss. Here's the pitch. And he takes a strike on the outside part of the plate. He's in the hole 1-2.
He got hot there for a while, and really, when you think about that balance they had in that Astro lineup, especially the home run ball, they struck out a lot. but they also hit a lot of home runs.
Rasmus bluffing a toss to second. He gets the runner at Hill to dive back.
So you've noticed that too. The Giavatello has put a lot of pickoff plays so far in spring training. Didn't see him do that a lot last year. That's important to be able to do so to shorten up those secondary leads.
Angels have the left side infield shift on. 3 infielders with Carter batting, and the 2-strike delivery fouls that one back behind the plate. Chris Carter had something happen a couple of seasons ago. It was the 2014 season when he was with the Astros. He hit 2 home runs in a game against the Minnesota Twins, and the same fan caught both home runs. I mean, what are the odds of that happening?
I'm sure the hands must have been hurting too, because he hit some rockets out.
Yes, he does. Here's the pitch. That's fouled back right in front of us, back to the screen.
It's a good little nugget you got there, Cherry, for that one.
I mean, that's unbelievable to me. How could the same guy catch both of his home runs at the same game?
That is amazing.
Yeah. Outfield is backed up. They play Carter deep, and rightfully so. Very good power. Here's the pitch. And he tried to sneak one on the inside part of the plate and misses.
That means he's setting him up. I would assume he's going to throw either a slider or a curveball now.
Rasmus will take time, especially with people on base. He's working at a pretty slow pace here. Now ready. The 2-2 on Carter. He got him, fooled him right there, struck him out. He stayed away from the fastball, and Carter, a strikeout victim. 2 are gone, and Alex Presley will be the next hitter.
Yeah, just like we thought after that fastball inside. A very good 12-6 break on that curveball. Not only the break, but also the speed differential between his fastball inside that a curveball was excellent from Rasmus.
So here's Alex Presley getting ready to bat, left-handed hitter. He was a teammate of Chris Carter's with the Astros for a little bit last season. Now with Milwaukee. In case of Presley trying to win a spot as a reserve outfielder. Cuts and misses the left-handed batter. That's strike 1. Today's game being brought to you by In-N-Out Burger. That's what a hamburger is all about. Angels and Brewers squaring off for the second time in 3 days, and they will square off during the regular season. Teams will meet up during the regular season in early May in Milwaukee. A 3-game series, the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th.
Much better to play that time of the year at Miller Park than the old stadium, though.
Yeah, gonna have the roof closed in case it's a little bit chilly in May in Wisconsin. Here's the next pitch. A little flare into shallow left, just out of the reach of Pennington. It'll drop in for a base hit. They'll score a run, throw to third. Got him. Trying to go first to third was Braun. The throw will get him, but the run will count. So give Presley an RBI hit, and on the board are the Brewers. It's 2-1 Angels after 1 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. 2-1 Angels as we go to inning number 2. This copyrighted broadcast presented by authority of Angels Baseball may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of today's game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Angels Baseball. So Garza's first pitch here on Pennington. He is taking, and it's ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Each team getting on the scoreboard in the first inning. And when these two teams met on Saturday, they combined for 22 runs. So we'll see how things develop today. The pitch, that's low and outside. 2 balls, no strikes.
And Pennington has been very aggressive at the plate, but here working the count. Hitting .471 in spring.
Here's the next pitch. That's pop back foul behind the plate, upstairs and out of play. The Angels dugout here at Maryvale Ballpark is on the third base side, and you see a lot of fans wearing red today on the Angels side. Garza has a new baseball, and the 2-1 delivery, cut and a foul tip into the mid of the catcher. It's now 2-2. This ballpark, this is the 19th season that this has been the spring training home of the Milwaukee Brewers. We've heard some rumblings that they might be looking to move elsewhere, whether it's maybe a new facility, although nothing has been announced, here in Arizona, or even possibly go back and play in the Grapefruit League in Florida. So only time will tell. Two balls, 2 strikes. Bottom third of the batting order, Pennington, Gentry, and Navarro is sitting against Garza. And the next pitch, cut and a miss. Struck him out. Garza gets his first strikeout today. Pennington is retired, and here's Craig Gentry.
Yeah, Garza does have a very good curveball. Drops one in here. And very similar to the break that Rasmus threw with his curveball, more of a 12-6 break to it. It's tough to stay back, especially when he's had a number of high fastballs. That set up that curveball, same plane as the fastball, then drops down below the knees.
First one on Gentry. That's a first pitch fastball high and away. Garza is without question coming off the worst season in his career. In 10 years in the big leagues, he never had a season as bad as 2015. He was 6-14 last year. ERA was 5.63. And here's his pitch. That's lifted in the air down the right field side. Presley is chasing toward the line, and he will make the catch in fair territory. That's his second out. Fly out off the bat of Craig Gentry, and Ray Navarro will be the next hitter.
When you put it in perspective, that's in the National League, too, have an ERA that high. Usually it's about a half a run more so, the average ERA in the American League is compared to the National League. So really tough season for Garza.
Gave up nearly 30 more hits than innings pitched, and opponents hit over 290 against him last year. So he's looking to forget about last season. And here's his pitch on Navarro. That is a strike. He's in the third year of a 4-year deal with the Brewers. There's also a vesting option for 2018. And he was a guy who, when he became a free agent after he was at Texas, he was linked to the Angels a bit. Here's a ground ball hit to short, fielded there by Rivera. He'll throw out Navarro. And the Angels have a quiet top of the second. Bottom of the second is next. It's 2-1 Angels on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Bottom of the second, 2-1, Angels on top. Jake Elmore will lead things off here for Milwaukee. Second baseman who spent about half of last season with Tampa Bay and also played in AAA in their system. Now trying to hook on with the Brewers, and first pitch is in there for a called strike. 0-1 to count.
Craig Gentry made a nice play to finish off that last half inning. Thrown out Ryan Braun at third base, charge it off balance, perfect throw to third base.
There's a pitch that bounces in for a ball. 1 strike is the count on Elmore. Angels have done a solid job defensively this spring as well. Been a lot of pluses for the Angels. Offense certainly. Here's the next pitch. Lifted in the air, hit well into right field. Going back is Cole Calhoun. Has a beat on it. A few feet from the rim of the track. He gathers it in for the first out.
It's a Gold Glover out there in right field, and Cole Calhoun. This is solid defensive outfield. Whether you have Gentry in left or Daniel Nava, both have made some outstanding plays to go along with the Gold Glover in right and Cole. And Mike Trout, on his way potentially to a Gold Glove himself, had an outstanding defensive season last year in center. Trout did. Career high as far as outfield assists too.
So the batter is the shortstop, Yadiel Rivera. He was with Milwaukee briefly last year. Just 7 games with him. He played AA, AAA. He's only 23 years old, right-handed batter. And here's the pitch. He took a good cut at that one and fouls it back behind the plate. No balls and 1 strike to count here on Rivera. He's from Puerto Rico, former 9th-round pick of Milwaukee in 2010. And the pitch, that one missed for a ball.
Milwaukee has announced their opening day starter. Willie Peralta is going to be the opening day starter for the Milwaukee Brewers.
Angels knocked him around on Saturday in that game. The Angels scored the 15 runs, and he gave up a lot of them.
Yeah, he has that plus fastball, but he made a lot of mistakes with that mid-90s fastball.
There's one in there for a strike. Yeah, and that game Saturday against the Angels, he gave up 10 runs, 11 hits, 2 homers in 2 2/3 innings. And that was the game Albert took him deep twice in 1 inning. That was in the 3rd.
And that's the beauty of spring training. You know, the quote from him was, "Well, I got my work in." Because it doesn't count on the old bubblegum card in the back.
Yeah, I had someone tell me that was the first time Albert had ever hit 2 home runs in 1 inning. Of course, it's an exhibition game. Never done it before in a spring training game or in the regular season.
That is amazing considering he has 560 of them in his career.
Yeah. 2-2 the count. Manny Pena waiting on deck. Brewers have another game going on against the Arizona Diamondbacks today. And here's the next pitch. That one bounces in. Rasmus was a little bit off balance there, and he's run the count full. It's 3-2 on Rivera.
Mike Scioscia would love to see Rasmus have some quick, clean innings to be able to go a little bit deeper today, making this emergency start for Nick Tropiano, who has the flu.
Here's the next pitch, and boy, that one didn't miss by much. That's ball 4. That was a close pitch to take with 2 strikes on a full count. So second walk given up by Rasmus. 1 out base runner is Rivera, and here's Manny Pena.
I mean, that fastball looked like it was about a half a baseball just off the outside corner. Carlos tried to bring that one back and catch the corner, but this was a good call. A little bit off the plate. Chris Siegel calling that off the corner.
Here's the pitch. That's line foul down the left side past the Angels bullpen. Ball hit sharply by Pena, the catcher. So it's no balls and 1 strike. Pena played AAA last year and hit .305. Here's the next pitch. That's fouled back to the screen. So Rasmus has jumped in front. No balls and 2 strikes.
So that's a pretty good hacks at fastballs first 2 pitches. Let's see some off speed, see if we can get him out in front, hit a ground ball, and an infielder to get 2 outs with it. And strikeouts are great. They look good. But ideally, you want to keep the ball down and get as many ground ball outs as you can get.
Garza, the pitcher, is waiting on deck. They've decided to bat their pitcher today. There's a pitch that's inside, and that was close to getting a piece of Pena.
I'm guessing by that he was looking for something off speed down and away.
Yeah. So 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Boy, the one thing that the Angels have done over the last couple of seasons, when they go inside with a fastball, a lot of times they'll back it up with another fastball because most hitters at that point look away.
Here's the next delivery. That's a liner, and it's caught by Cron, and he will double up the base runner Rivera, and the inning is over. That ball was hit sharply, but a nice play by C.J. Cronin. Unassisted, inning-ending double play. We're headed to the third. 2-1 Angels on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Top of the third we go. The Angels up 2-1 against Milwaukee. Don't forget, every fan matters when the Angels take on the Texas Rangers on April the 8th at the Big A. Game time 7:05. Fans in attendance receive a plaid blanket. It's courtesy of St. Joseph Hoag Health while supplies last. Now visit angels.com or call 714-4ANGELS to get your tickets. Operators are standing by.
That may come in handy, that first road trip going to San Francisco, Minnesota, and Chicago.
There you go.
In April.
Yep. See if you can find an extra one. Take on that trip.
Yes.
There's a pitch in there for a called strike. The batter is the Angels' leadoff man today, and Drolton Simmons, who's DHing, and the first at bat for him. He grounded out to second. Here's the next pitch. That's a breaking ball. It's low and away. 1-1 the count. Matt Garza pitching now in his third inning. Gave up a couple of runs in the top of the first. Had a clean second. And here's the next pitch. Grounded on the left side right at the shortstop. Rivera has time, and his throw will get Simmons. That'll be the first out. So that's what, 5 in a row retired by Garza, and Giovatello will be the next batter.
So far, he's gotten 5 outs via the ground ball, one time with the double play ball.
Johnny has doubled and scored. Here's Garza's pitch. Grounded on the right side. The second baseman has it skip off his glove. Elmore, it's probably going to be an error on him. Should be. Giavotella is on. And the Angels will have a 1-out base runner.
Looked like he had time to get in front of that baseball, to just kind of fielded that to the side and unable to get that and look that ball into the glove.
So it is an error on Elmore. And that was kind of shades of the Rangers yesterday.
Lots of errors for 5 of them.
Yeah.
Was that yesterday?
It was.
Yes.
Yep. At the plate now is Mike Trout, a runner on. Takes a first pitch fastball for ball 1. It's 1-0. Mentioned tomorrow when the Angels have a split squad day with one game here in Arizona and the other in Salt Lake City, Utah. Mike Trout's going to make the trip for the Salt Lake game, and that's nice to see him do that.
And the fans in Salt Lake City have to be extremely happy to see Mike Trout go back there to play a game tomorrow.
Yeah. Cole Calhoun will go on that trip. C.J. Cron will go on that trip.
Garrett Richards is going there.
Yep. Not going to pitch, but he'll be with the Angel team that goes there. And I'm sure they're going to have a big crowd. I know they're going to broadcast that game on the radio in Salt Lake City tomorrow. First time the Angels will go play an exhibition game with their top farm club at their ballpark in quite some time.
I remember doing that every year towards the end of spring training when I was with Kansas City. Always going to Memphis or at some point going to Omaha.
There's a pitch they missed on Trout. Last time that the Angels played an exhibition game in Salt Lake City, 1981. So it has been quite some time, 35 years ago. 2-2 the count. Here's the pitch. Runner goes, grounded through the left side, out of the reach of Hill. That one will skip into left, breaking for third, and getting there safely, Giavotella. Mentioned he was on the move on that pitch, so he goes first to third. Angels have him at the corners, looking to add on here in the third inning, and Cole Calhoun will bat.
Again, because going on the pitch and a ground ball in the hole on a breakable. Nice job by Trout staying back on that high curveball. Stayed back on it, shot it through the hole between short and third, made that adjustment at the plate. Johnny Giavotella goes to third. The theme we've been saying quite a bit this spring.
The other part of a team being aggressive on the bases, you have to make contact, and we've seen that all spring from Angel hitters. Trout looked like he was going to go and then put on the brakes, and the pitch is fouled back by Cole Calhoun.
Yeah, you remember the other day, Mike Socha said you need the personnel to be able to do this run, but you also have to have guys that make contact, and they've added some pretty good players. Billy Eppert has done a nice job. Simmons puts the ball in play. Escobar puts the ball in play. Nava puts the ball in play. These guys don't strike out a lot, so it gives you that ability as a manager to put guys in motion because you're going to see contact made.
0-1 on Cole Calhoun. That's off speed outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're in the third inning. Angels batting. 1 out, 2 on, and the Angels up 2-1. No action right now on the Brewers bullpen. Last time that Garza pitched, he went 4 innings. There goes Trout in the pitch. That's lifted in the air and hit foul down the left side. That's right beyond the Angels bullpen.
Well, he had a good jump, Trout. And again, we talked about and showed that the other day, the difference between how he gets his lead and the approach to try to go from last year to this year, where he has his body turned a little bit more so. The arm is down. It's almost as if he's a sprinter now trying to steal bases. That's something he said he tried to do and work on during the offseason to carry into spring and then the regular season.
So Calhoun batting with 2 strikes. Trout not going this time. A pitch is low. Good eye on a 2-strike delivery. 2-2 the count.
Guessing Trout's going here on this 2-2 pitch. Similar count when Giavotella was going with Trout at the plate.
Carter holding the bag over there, but Trout still getting a decent sized lead. Not going, and the pitch that's lined down the right field side, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. A run will score. The Angels will have him at the corners. Second RBI hit of the game already for Cole Calhoun, and the Angels now lead it 3-1.
Another first to third. Another breaking ball that was elevated, a slider. It looked like Trout was thinking about going, didn't get a real good jump. Stops, reads that ball down, and easily gets into third base. Picking up Ron Renicky. See if there's a bobble out in the outfield just in case he'd be ready to go home.
Crone batting for the second time. He singled back in the first inning. And the pitch that's low and outside. Garza kind of stumbled a little bit after delivering that pitch out on the mound. 1 ball, no strikes. Early inning run certainly has been a theme this spring for the Angels, and they're doing it again today.
That's something you didn't say a whole lot last year. Early in games, a lot of low scoring games.
There's one a little bit low. Well, we talked about it a few days ago, but in recent big league history, when a team has had a lead after 1 inning, they go on to win roughly 70% of the time. The pitch. This is bounce right to short. The flip to second one, relay to first. It's going to be a double play, and that's going to end the inning. So the Angels have hit into 2 of them, but have scored another run. We're headed to the bottom of the third. 3-1 Angels on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Here in the bottom of the third, the Angels have a 3-1 lead, and the Angels also have a new pitcher. The closer, Houston Street, will take over for Rasmus, who worked 2 innings. And Corey Rasmus gave up 2 hits, a run. It was earned. He walked 2, and he picked up 1 strikeout. So Houston Street has wrapped up his warm-up tosses. We'll check out the Ram out-of-town scoreboard for you on this Monday in just a moment. It's brought to you by the Ram 1500, available with Eco Diesel V6 that gets an estimated 29 miles per gallon highway. Visit ramtrucks.com to learn more. And after the pitch, we'll see what's happening in the Florida Grapefruit League. A lot of finals. It's a pitch that is a little bit low for a ball. The count 1 ball, no strikes. Garza, the pitcher, is batting. And this is his first time up. Braves beat a Pirates split squad today, 7-3. There's one that's low, ball 2. Was the Red Sox over the Cardinals 4-3. Nationals beat the Astros 5-3. Phillies over the Tigers 4-3. Pirates split squad shut out Minnesota 2-0. Juan Nicasio has really been pitching well for Pittsburgh this spring. Had 8 strikeouts in 5 innings. And Miami beat the Mets 2-1. There's one in there on a 3-0 to Garza for a called strike.
This probably hasn't happened a whole lot for Houston Street in his career, facing a pitcher, especially being a closer.
And here's the pitch. It's chopped on an easy hop to short. Pennington is over there, and he will throw out Garza. So Street came back after getting behind 3-0 to get him.
You know, I was talking to Houston today. I asked him exactly when does he thinks he's going to be ready for the start of the regular season. As a closer, you have your routines. He said probably 4 more times, including today, and he should be ready to go. It's all about that feel for his pitches and being comfortable on the mound. He said 3 more times after today, which you mentioned earlier today, just 2 weeks from today, opening day, Chicago Cubs.
There's a pitch to Flores. He takes it for ball 1. Street is working in his 5th game this spring. 4 scoreless innings so far. And he's working fast out there. The next pitch, that's grounded foul over on the first base side. Infield spread out, outfield straight away with Ramon Flores at the plate. Played a little bit for the Yankees last year. And that one missed on him for a ball.
Well, that's a pretty good pitch. You can hear that in the Angel side to stay there.
Next delivery, cut on, fouled off on the left side. That's going to get back and out of play. Flores is a player, reserve outfielder. He would figure to be with Milwaukee. They're going to have to make a decision on him because he's out of options. Can also play some first base, playing center field today. And he bounces that one foul on the right side. Had a pretty good spring for them.
Milwaukee in a transition right now, trying to develop some of their younger players. Conversation we had again today is by 2018 they expect to be very competitive.
There's the pitch, and that is cut on and missed. Fooled him off speed, struck him out. Flores retired. Street has a strikeout. He's retired 2 in a row. And here's Aaron Hill.
Yeah, there's some good fastball. The changeup before didn't get exactly where he wanted, but this time great action on the changeup from Houston Street to get a swing and miss.
Hill walked and scored. The first and only Milwaukee run in this ball game. I was in the bottom of the first inning. The pitch, that's a little bit low. Mentioned the Brewers, and they do have a solid farm system, and they have a very good young shortstop by the name of Orlando Arcia. His brother is an outfielder for Minnesota. There's one foul back and out of play, but they are really excited about him. They think he has a chance to be an impact player for them. Very good defensively. He has very good speed. He's an exciting player, a young player who certainly figures to be busting onto the scene in the very near future. There's one fouled off.
Remember, we've been talking about that influx of incredibly good, gifted shortstops in baseball, from Carlos Correa to Lindor and the such, and now all of a sudden you're going to see Milwaukee with one themselves. You can really build your team around a solid, athletic, very good shortstop.
He's played a little bit for them this spring. Speaking of Arcia, here's a fly ball lifted to right field toward the line, and fair ground. Making the grab on that one is Cole Calhoun. Easy play will end the inning, and a quick, clean inning for Street here in the bottom of the third. The fourth is next. Angels are up 3-1 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Carlos Perez will lead off things here as we go to the fourth. Angels up 3-1. Garza still in there, the Milwaukee starter. Perez has hit into a double play today, and the first pitch he takes it low and outside for ball one. Don't forget, every fan matters when the Angels take on the Texas Rangers. 7:05 first pitch on April the 7th. Fans in attendance receive a Trout Pujols double bobblehead courtesy of Pachanga. And the pitch, that one is lined into center field. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Carlos Perez with a leadoff single. Cliff Pennington will be the batter. Don't forget that Trout Pujols double bobblehead courtesy of Pachanga Resort and Casino while supplies last. Visit angels.com or call 714-4-ANGELS to purchase your tickets. Operators are standing by.
Terry, I'm guessing a little hit and run action here with Pennington at the plate and Perez at first base at some point here. Nice piece of hit by Carlos Perez in that base hit up the middle. Talked about approaches for the hitters, using that middle part of the field a lot and going the other way.
Here's Pennington batting. They thought he might be looking to drop something down. The third baseman Hill was in, and pitch a ball to count 1-0. Mentioning Hill, the third baseman, and Pennington, the batter. Those two were teammates for a while last year with the D-backs. Here's the pitch. Little low. 2-0. Craig Gentry is waiting on deck. Angels with the red tops, gray pants today, and the Brewers, the dark blue tops, white pants. Here's the next pitch, and that's in there. 2-1 the count. Here's the next delivery. It's chopped to second. This could be a double play. Flip to second. Relay on to first. Easy double play. So the Angels are up by a couple in this ball game, despite hitting into 3 double plays in the first 4 innings.
Yeah, a lot of base runners, some good at bats. The guard has made some quality pitches to get those ground ball double plays. He's pitched inside pretty effectively.
So here's Gentry with 2 outs, no one on. Flight out to Presley, the right fielder that was back in the second. We're in the 4th, and the Angels up 3-1. Here's the pitch. That's a called strike. Angels have some action in the bullpen, so Street's day is probably done. A solid inning for him in the bottom of the 3rd. There's a called strike on Gentry. 0-2.
Terry, by the way, it looks like also Mike Moore and Tyler Skaggs, Cam Bedrosian will be in Salt Lake City also.
Here's one hit on a tricky hop to third, charging his hill. He can't come up with it. Ball skips off his glove, and then the ball rolls back over towards the mound. No chance to get Gentry. So we'll see how they score that one. Gentry is on with 2 outs, and Navarro will be the batter. And let's pause for stations to identify themselves here on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Terry Smith, Mark Gubasad, our producer engineer Darren Chan joining you here on this Monday. They did charge Hill, the third baseman, with an error. And now Navarro batting, and he lifts one foul down the left side. That's going to push down near the Angels bullpen. 0-1 is the count.
Looked like a nice play. Whoever's warming up down the bullpen on that fly ball into the Angels bullpen.
I think that's Joe Smith. It's kind of tough to tell because the relievers, the Angels relievers warming up down the left side, their back is to us, and it's also blocked by the seats down there, the stands.
Joe multitasking.
There you go. There's a pitch a little bit high. It pops off the mid of the catcher, Pena. No advancement, though, by Gentry. So kind of an odd fielding day already for Milwaukee. They've turned 3 double plays, and they've also committed 2 errors in less than 4 innings. Hard to tell whether their defense has been good or bad, I guess. 1 ball, 1 strike. Next pitch, a little bit inside. 2-1.
You can tell by some of these pitches today, Garza likes to pitch inside both the lefties and righties. Relatively straight fastball. We'll throw the fastball upstairs. You mentioned earlier 90-94 range on his fastball.
He's set. There goes the runner, and that one is fouled off down the left side. That's backing out of play. So on the move was Gentry. He'll head back. 2-2 the count.
It's off the top of my head. I think Gentry about 77 career stolen bases in 90 attempts. That's a pretty good percentage. Gentry as far as successful stealing a base.
Garza taking a little extra time after getting the new baseball. Rivera coming into the day 5 for 20 this spring, a homer and 8 runs batted in. Here's the pitch. That's a line shot right up the middle. That's a base hit. Low line drive single. Ball got out to Flores so quickly that Gentry could only move up 1 base. So second hit in the inning for the Angels. 2 are on with 2 outs, and the top of the batting order now and Drolton Simmons.
Navarro's hit some baseballs real hard. Mentioned earlier, 8 RBI. He missed some time too.
Yeah. Catcher Pena looking over toward the coaching seat area, which is over by the Brewers on deck circle just outside their dugout. Pena flashing some signals to the other infielders. And here's the pitch. Checking the swing on that one is Simmons, and they say that he was holding. 1 ball, no strikes.
Ted Barrett over at first base, making the call, no swing.
Here's the next delivery, and this is lifted in the air, shallow left center field, camping under, waiting on it, and making the catch is Ryan Braun. The inning is over. Angels had a little bit of a threat here in the fourth, but failed to score. We're headed to the bottom of the fourth inning. 3-1 Angels on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Angels will bring in pitcher number 3 of the day. Joe Smith will take over for Houston Street. Street had a clean bottom of the third with a strikeout, and Joe's first pitch, that's right in there on Ryan Braun to count 0-1. Joe is set, and here's the next pitch. That's right in there again for a called strike for Joe Smith. He's appearing in game number 6 this spring. And in 5 innings, he's given up 10 hits and 4 earned runs. So he has struggled a little bit. Here's the next pitch. That's chopped foul by Braun as he walks out of the batter's circle. That one got a piece of his foot, it looked like.
Bottom line with veteran relievers, you don't worry about numbers. It's all about getting their work in. And feel for, especially for his slider as we get closer. He's going to get that 2-seam fastball, get a lot of ground ball outs, but it's getting a feel for his pitches, getting his work in. Eventually getting those enough appearances where he'll be comfortable going back-to-back times out of the bullpen, especially early when you're not going to see starters being stretched out as far as innings pitched.
Here's the next one on Ryan Braun. He chops that one foul right near home. Braun is a 6-time All-Star, and he's a player now who is 32 years old, went to Granada Hills High School.
My neck of the woods. Yeah. Highlanders.
Infield is backed up against him, and the outfield shading him a little bit the opposite way. There's one that's outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Braun. Joe Smith with the next pitch, and that is cut on and missed. He got him, struck him out.
That was a real good 2-seam fastball running underneath the hands of Ryan Braun. Perfect pitch for Joe Smith. Slider away, the pitch before. Two-seam fastball running down and in. Swing and miss.
Chris Carter will be the next batter. Struck out his first time up. That was against Corey Rasmus. Here's the pitch with the left side infield shift on. He takes outside. It's 3-1 Angels. We're in the bottom of the fourth here from Maryvale Ballpark, kind of northwest Phoenix area. And the next delivery, that's a pitch that misses. 2-0. And the next delivery, chopped on the left side. Charging as the third baseman Navarro has time. Carter doesn't run very well, and he'll throw him out. 2 up and 2 down. Alex Presley will be the next batter. Fans, don't forget Experian. Let's get serious about your credit. Go to Experian.com today.
I really like the setup for Carlos Perez behind the plate. We talk about being quiet, not a lot of wasted movement. Sets his target so well, quiet with his hands, frames pitches very well, whether he moves it just a little bit in off the plate or tries to bring it up just above the knees. Very quiet, very efficient behind the plate for Carlos Perez.
There's one that's a little bit low and away. Outside pitch on the batter Presley, ball 1. And the next delivery, it's bounced by the mound and through into center field. Joe Smith got the glove down, but it skipped underneath the glove and rolls out to Trout in center. So second hit for Presley. 2-out single here, bottom of the fourth, and Elmore will be the next batter. And the Angels are in action tomorrow. Hector Santiago is scheduled to take on the Oakland A's. Kendall Graveman will be the starter for Oakland, and then Angels will have another game. We talked about that game in Salt Lake City, the exhibition game against AAA Salt Lake tomorrow afternoon. Pitch in there for a called strike. Wednesday, the Angels are off. And then on Thursday, Tyler Skaggs is going to face the White Sox. I don't think he's going to start that game, but he is going to pitch. They're hoping maybe 2 innings for him. And there's one that's pickoff toss to first. The runner Presley gets back, and Skaggs has already said, the first time I face opposing hitters, I'm going to be nervous.
Yeah, but his excitement when he heard that he had this chance, because he was kind of a little bit upset. He was kind of trying to work Mike Scioscia to say, listen, instead of a minor league game, let me face some big league hitters.
Right.
That was originally the thought process, a minor league game, but all of a sudden now it's switched around, and he is super excited about going on Thursday.
And I know you saw his simulated game, what was it, just a couple days ago, and you thought it looked really good.
It looked real good. He looked so comfortable.
Here's the pitch. Popped in the air, shallow right field, breaking in hard, unable to get to it is Cole Calhoun. Will have to play it in on a hop. So that's a 2-out hit for Elmore, and they have him at first and second. Back-to-back 2-out hits against Joe Smith, and the batter will be the shortstop Rivera.
Yeah, Terry, going back to that, you know, I talked to Tyler today, and I said, hey, I went over and saw your simulated game. He goes, what did you see? I said, you had great downward action. Your mechanics were perfect. The fastball at the knees, both sides of the plate. The breaking ball was crisp. Change-up, solid. But the thing that really, for me, I took the most out of it, he looked like he was having fun. And when you're battling, coming back from a surgery like he did, a lot of times you look nervous. He wasn't.
There's one that's in there for a called strike. Yeah, he's, well, roughly 18 months removed from that Tommy John left elbow surgery. Joe trying to get the final out here in a little bit of trouble. 2 on base. That one is chopped foul over on the third base side. So Joe Smith has moved in front on Rivera.
You know, a lot of times we heard when you're coming back from Tommy John, it used to be about 12 months. Now we're seeing a more cautious approach, but I think it's still the smarter approach, anywhere between 16 to 18 months, especially with younger pitchers. And then limit the innings during the course of the season. He'll probably limit it around that 180 pitch plateau or 180 innings pitch plateau.
There's a bouncing ball that's hit to the third baseman. It's fielded there by Navarro. All he has to do is touch the bag, and eventually he will. He was acting like he was going to try and tag out Presley. All he had to do was get the force out, and the inning ends on the unassisted fielder's choice. So that'll do it here for Milwaukee. They failed to score in the fourth. That means we're headed to the fifth inning here today in Maryvale, and it's 3-1 Angels on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Fifth inning we go. The Angels up by a couple. It's 3-1. First batter up for the Halos, taking that pitch for a strike is Johnny Giavotella. Matt Garza still in there as he gets his fifth inning of work underway. They have a new left fielder, Kirk Neuenhuis, who was with the Angels for a brief time last season. He is now in left field, replacing Ryan Braun. Braun went 1 for 2.
Neuenhuis for the Mets last year, 3 home runs in 1 game.
I know you're still amazed
Yes.
by that fact. There's a ground ball that's hit to short. Rivera has it, and his throw will cut down Johnny Giavotella.
When you think about the history of the game, not many times has a player done that.
Well, that's why in New York they called him Captain Kirk.
After 3 home runs in a game, I can see why.
There you go. Here's Trout. He's been on base twice today. Single and a walk. He scored a run. And here's the pitch. There's a bunt by Trout out near the mound, and fumbling it is Garza, and he has no throw. Boy, oh boy, Mike Trout drops one down.
Boy, how often have we said that over the last 2-3 years for Mike Trout with his speed? If he just does that, just to bring that third baseman in, maybe even the first baseman in, to make him aware that he may indeed try to bunt. And pretty good bunt. And you can see why, as a pitcher, when you see that kind of speed going down the line to Mike Trout, you just kind of stumble because you try to make the perfect play. But what a job by Trout. It is great to see him putting down a bunt. Gets a base hit out of it also.
So here's Cole Calhoun with Trout getting a good-sized lead off of first base. Ron Renicky, who is the Angels' third base coach, he's down there in the box. Of course, he used to be the Brewers manager, and he knows that Garza has never liked teams bunting against him. Here's a bunt by Cole Calhoun, and that one is fouled off. There's been some stuff during Garza's career. He does not like people to bunt against him. And the Angels now have had Trout do it in this inning, and Now Calhoun, who fouled it off on the third base side.
There's been a few pitchers over the years. Nolan Ryan was not a big fan of people bunting on him.
Yeah.
He was all right with one, but if he kept trying to do it, especially with his fastball, you thought twice about it eventually as the game progressed. Rob Dibble didn't like guys bunting on him either.
Well, and Garza looked shaky on Trout's bunt. There was no doubt about it. Actually kind of rolled between his legs as he tried to smother the ball off the mound. Here's the next pitch. That's outside on Cole Calhoun. That was a fastball high and away.
That was an angry fastball for just back-to-back bunts.
Well, yeah, I'm telling you, it's in his head after those two guys have been bunting against him. One ball, one strike. And the next delivery, that's a fastball that missed outside. 2-1.
Well, you can see his actions on the mound. He's not real happy about it. He's had a kind of an odd game. He's done a nice job as far as getting ground ball outs. He's had 10 of them, including 3 double plays in this game.
One of the Angel runs is unearned against them. And here's the next pitch. That's another fastball, and that one misses. So 3-1 to count on Cole Calhoun with Crone waiting on deck.
Good count to go if you're Trout now.
Garza is set. Trout not going. The pitch, a cut and a miss. It was a pitch that Cole Calhoun went after and actually tipped it into the mid of Pena. So it's a full count, 3-2.
Certainly a time you're going to see Trout going down a 3-2 count with 1 out. The Garza's done a nice job as far as holding the baseball. A couple guys have not timed him real well with trying to steal.
So we'll see what happens on the payoff delivery. There goes Trout. It's cut on and miss for the strikeout. Throw down to second, and Trout's going to be gunned down, and that's going to be another double play. Strike him out, throw him out, double play, and that's how the inning will end. We are headed to the bottom of the 5th. Angels have a 3-1 lead against Milwaukee on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Kirky will take over for Joe Smith. Joe worked a scoreless bottom of the 4th, although he gave up a couple of hits. Struck out a batter, didn't walk any, and now Albuquerque will be the new Angel pitcher, and this will be his 7th appearance this spring. 6 innings of work, 10 hits allowed, 3 earned runs, 10 strikeouts in 6 innings. So Albuquerque ready to go, and Pena at the plate. Rising fastball up and in for ball one. It's 1 ball, no strikes.
Well, I still feel Albuquerque can be a really valuable piece of the bullpen for Mike Scioscia. It's a power arm, average over a strikeout per inning to add his career. You have a lot of guys pitch to contact guys like in Joe Smith and Houston Street, but power fastball here.
Here's the next pitch. This is bounced on the right side. The pitcher Albuquerque off the mound fields and hustles to the bag and gets Pena.
Now, if you're a youngster at home watching the game, that's exactly what you want to do. When you feel the ball to that side of the field, slow roller, your first baseman's going for it also. You field it, eliminate the throw, and go straight through the base. Exactly what Albuquerque did on this one. Covered some good ground, bounced off the mound quickly, take it yourself, you've eliminated the throw.
So nice athletic play by the Angels reliever. And now we're going to have a pinch hitter for Garza, Victor Roach, who is up from their minor league camp, will pinch hit. Right-handed batter, and the pitch on Roach takes that one outside for a ball. This is the first at bat for Roach. He's been in one other game but did not bat. Here's a ball. He grounds fair by the third baseman Navarro. It's going to roll down the left field side, and Roach is hustling for two, and he is there with a double. Pretty big guy, and he was moving around the bases there for the two-base hit.
Just by the glove of Navarro. Pretty good idea of the arm strength of Craig Gentry at left field. That strong throw all the way from towards the corner. And that 350 sign all the way in the air to second base.
So runner at second. Flores will be the batter. Victor Roach, who played college baseball at Georgia Southern. First round pick of the Brewers a few years ago. The runner at second. Here's one that's hit softly on the left side. The shortstop Pennington fields that ball not too far from second base and throws the first to get Flores on the play. Roach moves over to third.
Really impressive play by Pennington using the bare hand to get that. You can see that actually he feels it, throws it. Nice little changeup. We know he likes to pitch on occasion. We know he's got a good fastball. I guess he's working on his changeup there.
So the batter now is Aaron Hill, the third baseman. He's 0 for 1 with a walk. He scored a run. 2 outs, runner at third base. We'll see if Albuquerque can prevent the run from coming in. And he delivers low and outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
Going with that good fastball from Albuquerque. A very solid slider, which he throws quite a bit of them.
Here's the next pitch. And that's in there for a called strike, a fastball. Hope you're enjoying the action on this Monday here from Maryvale Ballpark. Angels have been on top since the first inning and lead it 3-1. Bottom of the fifth. Next pitch fouled off on the right side. That's going to land down near the Brewers bullpen, out of play. Kirk Neuenhuis would be up next. Here's the pitch. That's outside. 2-2 the count. Albuquerque is ready on the next delivery, and that is on the outside corner. Struck him out, and the inning is over. So Albuquerque keeps that runner at third, and we're headed to the sixth inning. It's a 3-1 Angels lead on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. New pitcher in the ballgame for Milwaukee, former Angel farmhand Will Smith, and he replaces Matt Garza. We'll give you Garza's numbers in a moment. First delivery, C.J. Cron at the plate, takes that one outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Garza worked 5 innings against the Angels, and along the way, he gave up 8 hits, 3 runs, 2 of them earned. Garza ended up walking 1, and in the strikeout department he had 2. Counts 2-0 on C.J. Cron. Here's the next pitch from the big lefty, and that's outside. 3 balls, no strikes. Will Smith, 76 games in relief for Milwaukee a year ago, 7-2 record, good ERA, 2.70. Here's the next delivery, and that's in there for a called strike. Smith is a guy who normally is around the plate, not overpowering, but he is a strikeout pitcher. Has a good slider, good curveball. He likes to use that against right-handed batters. Here's one grounded right to short, gobbled up by Rivera, and he will throw out C.J. Cron for out number 1.
Well, Rivera has been very busy today.
Yeah, he sure has. So the batter now is Carlos Perez. Will Smith is appearing in Game 7, and he's done a nice job for the Brewers. 6 innings of work coming into today. 2 hits, no runs allowed, no walks, 4 strikeouts. Mentioned a big guy, about 6'5", 260. As that one is in there for a called strike.
It's a power forward working right there.
And here's the next pitch. That's a pitch that checking was Perez, and on the appeal they say he was holding. 1-1. $90 degrees when we got started today. Angels and the Brewers. Here's the next pitch, and checking the swing on that one is Perez. That is a strike. 1-2. They have the lawn seating here. Left field, left center, right field, right center. But not a whole lot of fans in the lawn area today. There's one that's low and inside. You could find a spot very easily out there on either side today and just kind of spread out and enjoy the ball game.
Yeah, but they're trying to find some shade. It's really warm today.
2-2 the count. And here's the pitch. That's low. We talked about it earlier. This ballpark, the seats are all below ground, kind of a bowl type of situation here as far as this stadium. Walk in, you have to walk down to your seats, and not a whole lot of airflow, especially down on the field. It's hot today.
You think the heat would just stay down and condense down the lower level like that?
Yeah. Payoff pitch, and that's inside, ball 4. 1-out walk. Angels have a base runner, up 3-1 here in the 6th inning. Cliff Pennington will be the next batter. Pennington's been quiet so far today, although he's had a very good spring at the plate, but today a strikeout, and he's hit into a double play. Look at that Angel dugout. We're talking about the heat here today and the way this ballpark is configured, and just about all the players are back under the shade of the roof of the Angel dugout. There aren't too many up against the railing right now taking in the action.
Normally you see that quite a bit, but not today.
Yep. And on the Milwaukee side, it looks like there's one player leaning against the railing. Everyone else is back trying to get a little bit of shade. There's a toss over to first. Back to the bag goes Carlos Perez. Well, if it feels hot right now, we'll just wait for a couple more months here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Here's the next pitch. That's a called strike on the outside corner.
But it is a dry heat, though.
Yep. I think last summer they got the actual temperature one day got to something like 119 degrees in the Phoenix area. Had a very warm summer last year. Here's the next pitch. That's fouled off over on the left side. So hanging in there is Pennington. 1 out, 1 on. Angels batting here in the 6th, up 3-1. Angels have some action in the bullpen, so we'll see who will be coming in to take over for Albuquerque. Probably will go just an inning today. Here's the next pitch. That's lifted down the right side, a foul ball, backing out of play. So Pennington and Smith continue their battle here. Angels drafted Will Smith back in 2008. He was a 7th round selection. Angels eventually traded him away, and Will Smith never did appear in an Angel uniform. But he's become a solid reliever. And the next delivery, that is cut on a miss. Fooled on that one is Pennington. Strikeout victim for the 2nd time today. That's out number 2, and Craig Gentry will be the next batter.
He looked like he threw him a changeup there. Does have a good one.
So Gentry is 0 for 2. And the Angels traded Will Smith away. They traded him to Kansas City. That was back in 2010, and that was a deal where the Angels got Alberto Callaspo from the Royals. Sean O'Sullivan was part of that deal as well. It was a 2-for-1 to get Callaspo. I haven't heard if Callaspo hooked on with
anyone. No, I haven't heard either.
Yeah. Not sure if he went to spring training with any major league club this spring. Here's the pitch. That's a little bit low. 1 ball, 1 strike to count. Gentry awaits the next pitch from the big lefty, and here it comes. That's a little bit outside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Quite a few pitches thrown this inning by Smith. Already at 19. Next pitch, number 20. Has some deep counts.
In behind against a lot of the hitters in the inning. The next delivery, this is chopped softly on the left side. Stopped by Hill, the third baseman. He will throw out Gentry, and that's how the inning will end. Not much happening for the Angels here in the 6th. We're going to the bottom of the 6th inning. Still a 3-1 Angels lead on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Here in the bottom of the 6th inning, the Brewers will face Angel reliever Cam Bedrosian. He takes over for Al Albuquerque. Albuquerque worked a scoreless inning, allowing a hit. Did not walk anyone and struck out a batter. So Bedrosian is the new Angel pitcher and the 5th of the day. And for Cam Bedrosian, appearance number 8 this spring. He's had a win and a loss this spring. His ERA is 5.87. 7 2/3 innings. He has struck out 11 batters.
I know you were wondering where I just was, Terry. I was down there participating in that race.
You were?
Yeah. You never know. You just never know.
The sausage race, which is a staple there at Miller Park in Milwaukee, and they do it here at the Brewers spring training home as well. There's a pitch that misses for a ball. Nieuwenhuis is the batter. 1 ball, 1 strike to count on him as he bats for the first time today. Carter and Presley will follow.
Hey,
Cam Bedrosian is set, and here's the next pitch, and that's a check swing. It's fouled back to the screen. One and 2 the count on Nieuwenhuis. He's trying to win a reserve outfield spot with Milwaukee this spring, and he's gone 8 for 32 here in the Cactus League with a home run. That's a .250 batting average. Left-handed hitter. The 2-strike pitch. That's a fastball that he checks on and holds up. So it's 2 balls and 2 strikes.
See the umpires rotating around on the bases in this game. Barry was at first base earlier, now on third base.
Next one on Nieuwenhuis. Takes that one a little bit low. Kirk Nieuwenhuis played some college baseball at Azusa Pacific. 3rd-round pick of the Mets back in 2008. And he grew up. He was a big Jim Edmonds fan growing up.
Jim Edmonds doing some Cardinal games this year.
There's a called 3rd strike on Nieuwenhuis. He does a double take as far as the home plate umpire. Chris Siegel struck him out looking. 1 away.
Well, the pitch before was pretty close to being called a strike itself. There's no right back out away. Nice job as far as framing that pitch. We talked about that with Carlos Perez. Those quiet hands he has behind the plate, framed that one very well.
So the batter now is Carter. It's had an 0 for 2 day. Ground out strikeout. Big right-handed hitter Chris Carter, and here's the pitch. He looks that one over. It catches the outside corner. That's a called strike.
That's a good slider right there from Cam. That's what he has to do, not overthrow that pitch. At times he'll bounce his slider. He's got a good one when he doesn't overthrow it.
Angels have 3 infielders on the left side. There's a cut and a miss, so he's jumped way in front on Carter, who will strike out. The count's 0-2. Carter in the 2013 season, when he was with the Astros, struck out 212 times that year. That was the 3rd highest strikeout figure for a batter in a season in Major League history, as that one is taken for ball 1 and 2.
That's an amazing amount of strikeouts.
Bedrosian is ready, and here's the next pitch, and framing that one is Perez. Boy, that one didn't miss by much. Fastball missed. 2-2 the count. With Carter's reputation of striking out a lot, you wouldn't think he would get that call a whole lot.
Some people that would probably be a high strike, but Carter's such a big guy at the plate. That was around belt high.
2-2. That one gets him looking. Struck him out. He took one too many right there. Back-to-back strikeouts for Bedrosian.
And they're strikes, too. They're right on the corner. Yeah. And when your catcher's back there giving a good sign there and then framing that pitch so well, with no movement, you're going to get those calls, and he should get that one because that was a perfect pitch.
So the batter now is Presley, and he has had 2 of their 5 hits today, and he's driven in their only run. The Angels are up 3-1. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Here's the pitch. Left-handed batter takes, and that's ball 1. Elmore is waiting on deck. And here's the next pitch. That one is low. Talked about it, how this ballpark is built below ground. And, boy, you get some real good smells of the game upstairs here, don't you? You can smell that kettle corn right now.
Getting extremely hungry.
It's like they're making it right a few feet away from us. It's unbelievable.
It smells so good.
Here's the next pitch. That one is low. A little bit earlier, you could smell like maybe burgers or brats.
They were grilling some burgers and brats just below us.
It's amazing. It's like we're right near the chef here. And heck, we're elevated. We're 50 feet or so elevated. Feels like they're right next to us, though. The pitch, and that is right in there for a called strike. The sounds of the game and the smells of the game.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. And the sights of the game. Bedrosian trying to have a clean inning here. It's behind 3-1. The next pitch lifted in the air to left field. This should be a clean inning for him. Gentry is under the left fielder. He'll put it away, and that'll do it here for Milwaukee. They go down quietly in the bottom of the 6th. We're headed to the 7th inning. Angels are up 3-1 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Driven by your soap. Here in the 7th inning, a few changes for the Brewers, and one of them is a new pitcher. Franklin Morales will take over for Will Smith. Don't forget, every fan matters when the Angels take on the Texas Rangers on Thursday, April the 7th. Game time will be at 7:05 at the Big A, and fans in attendance receive a Trout and Pujols double bobblehead. It's courtesy of Pechanga Resort and Casino while supplies last. You can visit angels.com to purchase your tickets today.
That was 80 home runs between the two last year. 41 and 40.
There you go. So here's Morales on the mound, and they have a new first baseman. That's Garrett Cooper up from their minor league camp, and Hernan Perez is now at third base. And at the plate is Ray Navarro, and he cuts at that one and fouls it back behind the plate. Oh, and 1 is the count. Morales is a left-hander. Here's his next delivery, and that one is right in there for a called strike. Oh, and 2 the count. Here's the next pitch. Lifted in the air, hit well into center field. Flores is going back, has a beat on it, and reaches out and makes the catch. That would have been extra bases, but a nice running grab there by the center fielder, Ramon Flores. That's the first out.
And he was able to track that one down, went a long way. Good read on that one. Reaches up, makes a nice play, right center field. Well, that Cooper's a tall first baseman, 6'5". They have a pretty tall first baseman, Chris Carter and now Cooper.
Yep.
He went to Loyola High School.
Here's the pitch, and this is Simmons batting. He takes it for a strike. Morales is appearing in just his second ball game, and so far a scoreless inning of relief for him. Here's the next delivery. It's chopped foul. It's going to roll over near the Angels coaches area. So it's no balls and 2 strikes.
We're looking forward to seeing Simmons at shortstop, whether it's tomorrow or Thursday. More than likely it looks like Thursday.
Gents.
0-2 is the count. And here's the next pitch, and that one is a little bit inside. We were kind of talking about this off air, but if you look at Andrelton Simmons' offensive numbers, the bigger offensive numbers for a position player, and compare those to Johnny Giovatello's a year ago, they both have very similar numbers from the 2015 season. Really across the board, batting average, home runs, RBIs, doubles, triples. And I think there's kind of a perception that Giovatello had a pretty good year with the bat, and maybe Simmons didn't, but their numbers are almost identical across the board.
And everyone's saying, well, Simmons is an unbelievable defender, but, you know, the bat not there for him. But the numbers very similar. You said, and just a couple years before that, 17 home runs he hit in the season.
Right. Here's the next pitch, 2-2. That's lined down the left field side. It's tight to the line, and it just drops a couple feet foul. That would have been extra bases. It's still 2-2.
The thing that's impressive about him, he doesn't strike out a whole lot. So he's going to put the ball in play, and it's going to allow Mike Socia to put a lot of plays on with him at the plate.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Here's the next delivery, and this is chopped down the third base side. It's handled by Perez, who's now in there at third, and he will throw out Simmons. So 5-3 ground out, 2 up, 2 away here in the 7th. Angels up 3-1, and Johnny Giovatello will be the next batter. Giovatello's day, not too bad. He scored 2 of the 3 Angel runs. He's had a double. He's reached on an error. He's officially 1 for 3. It's like G-Man Choi waiting on deck. Here's the pitch on Giovatello. That's a liner in the left field. He jumped all over that pitch. First ball swinging, a single for him, his second hit of the day. So that was Marte. Yeah, that was Marte instead of Giovatello getting that base hit, pinch hitting. So Jeffrey Marte on over there at first base, and now here is G-Man Choi. He's batting out a Trout spot. So Mike Scioscia is starting to get some of the reserves in. And the pitch, that's fouled back behind the plate.
Guys getting a chance to swing the bat here now in these spots where you're trying to fight for that extra spot or two. We mentioned it a number of times, some tough decisions. Some of the extra players to fill out that 25-man roster. And it's been some very good competition, so the decisions is not going to be easy for Mike Scioscia and Billy Epler and the entire staff. Which is what you want to see, difficult decisions.
Marte leading off first, 2 outs. Choi takes in there for a strike, so he's now behind 0-2. Trout, who leaves the ball game. Mike was 2 for 2. Also had a walk and scored a run.
How great was that to see him have a bunt single, though?
Yeah. And there's a pitch that Choi goes after. He misses it, struck him out, and the inning is over. So the Angels are retired here in the 7th. We're headed to the bottom of the 7th. It's 7th inning stretch time at Maryvale Baseball Park. 3-1 Angels on top on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Angels have a lot of changes and also a new battery as Cody Satterwhite takes over. And the first pitch he throws, there's a bunt try. It's fouled back on the left side out of play. So Satterwhite replaces Bedrosian. Cam Bedrosian was impressive today. Clean inning with a couple of strikeouts. Juan Gratterall has come in. He's the new Angel catcher. And just about everybody now has left the game except for Crone. He's still playing first base. There's one cut on, fouled off on the right side out of play. The new second baseman is Gregorio Petit. Jeffrey Marte stays in the game at third base. Roberto Balduquin, he is the new shortstop. G-Man Choi stays in the game. He's in left. Nick Buss in center. Rafael Ortega in right. There's a pitch of tying outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Jake Elmore is the batter. And he's gone 1 for 2 today for Milwaukee. Here's the pitch. Chopped out towards short. Balduquin has the easy hop. Throws a little bit low, but Crone keeps the foot on the bag over there, and retired is Elmore for out number 1. Rivera will be the next batter for Milwaukee.
It's almost automatic. As soon as you come in the game, the baseball will find you. Balduquin right away. And some action. Satterwhite with a good fastball there. Ran at him with a good. Jammed the batter.
Right-hander is set. And the pitch, that's chopped foul back behind the plate. Let's pause for stations to identify themselves here on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Next delivery from Satterwhite, and that one misses for a ball. 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's his next pitch, and that fastball misses outside. We've seen Satterwhite a little bit this spring. Tall, slender right-hander. Here's the next pitch, and that one missed inside. Cody Satterwhite is appearing in his 4th game this spring for the Angels. 2 2/3 innings of scoreless relief coming in.
See a good fastball there. Just missed. Good sink action on, also good velocity behind it.
Here's the next pitch. Fouled off on the right side by Rivera.
Well, so far in this game, Terry, a lot of good positive things. Obviously, we talked a lot about that 1st and 3rd, but seeing Mike Trout laying down a bunt for a hit. Nice at bats again for Cole Calhoun hitting that number 4 spot. C.J. Cron going the other way for an RBI. End up going 1st and 3rd. Some really good swings once again. And some great bullpen action today. Some guys that you would think are going to be certainly part of that bullpen threw the ball very well.
Other pitchers fouled off over on the right side, backing out of play. And Satterwhite's delivery. This is chopped out near second base. Ball Duquesne has it, throws late. So pretty good speed for Rivera. He legs out an infield hit.
Yeah, good range by Baldacchini, but on the transfer couldn't quite get a grip on the baseball at that point. No chance to make that throw to first base. A slight hesitation. Ends up being an infield hit. Still good range for him.
So 1 out, 1 on. And Pena, the catcher, will be the next batter. Here's the pitch. That is a called strike. Satterwhite looking in for the sign. And the next delivery, that one is up and in.
So far he's got a couple ground balls, one for an infield hit, one for an out. Love to get another one right here, the turn 2.
He's ready, and the next pitch, that one is cut on and missed. Right-hander against right-hander. Here's the next delivery, and the pitch misses for a ball. So it's even up 2 balls and 2 strikes. Satterwhite is 29 years old, goes 6'4", 235 pounds. Moved around a little bit in his professional career. Been in the Mets organization. And the next pitch, this is chopped to Baldacchini, flips to second for 1, relay to first a little bit late. Well, Baldacchini didn't charge that ball, and that might have cost the Angels a chance to get out of the inning with a double play.
You see Petit talking to him about that because he was in position to get to that bag quickly to be able to potentially turn a double play. Not quite able to do so. Came another ground ball by Satterwhite so far on the mound. Some good sinking action.
So here's Perez batting, and he lines one right back to the pitcher, Satterwhite. That was a bullet, and it landed right in his glove, and that will end the inning. So that'll do it here for Milwaukee. Failed to score. We've completed 7, and we head to the 8th. Angels are up by a score of 3-1 on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Three-1 Angels as we head to inning number 8 here in Maryvale. Score update is brought to you by Experian. Get serious about your credit by visiting Experian.com. So there's a new pitcher, the veteran lefty Chris Capuano delivers, and the first pitch, that's lined by Petit, and that ball is going to bounce all the way down in the left field corner. Gregorio Petit, first ball swinging, starts things off in the 8th inning with a double. He was hitting out of Cole Calhoun's spot, and the Angels, just like that, have a runner in scoring position.
It's the 3rd hit from that position. Now double figures once again with hits at 10 for the Angels. Said that a lot in spring training, especially of late for this offense.
Capuano replacing Franklin Morales, who had a scoreless 7th inning against the Angels. C.J. Cron at the plate. He's gone all the way at first base today, and the pitch, that's up and in for ball 1.
Capuano from Duke University. Still alive in that Sweet 16.
Yes, yep.
That's Mike Trout's team. He says going all the way again. Going out on the limb, going Duke.
Here's the pitch, and that one is in there for a strike. Well, I guess it's never wise to go against Coach K.
No, not at all.
Yep.
Even with a team that's not real deep, some key injuries this year, they're there again, Sweet 16.
Goobs, I like the scouting report. Yeah. Here's the pitch, and that's right in there for a called strike.
Still recovering from St. Joe's losing last night to Oregon.
Yeah. 1 ball, 2 strikes here on Cron. Capuano is ready. Here's his next pitch, and that one is waved at and missed by Cron, and he struck him out. Cron is claiming that it was a foul tip.
And he's going to get that call. First base umpire saw it.
So C.J. Cron pleading his case. Sometimes it pays off. Stays alive. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Or last time, stay alive in a bat when a first baseman dropped the pop-up yesterday. hit that 2-iron shot to left center field for a double.
Here's the next delivery. That time he didn't foul tip it, and he's down on strikes. Capuano getting the strikeout. Gratterall will be the batter. He's hitting out of Carlos Perez's spot. Perez today was 1 for 2 with a single and a walk. Here's the first pitch, and a cut and a miss for strike one. The veteran Chris Capuano on the hill. He had some good seasons earlier in his career when he was with the Brewers. He's moved on a lot of places since, but back now with them trying to make their opening day roster. There's one that's chopped foul over on the third base side. So it's no balls, 2 strikes on Gratterall.
He's had to come back from a couple of Tommy John surgeries. Never easy to do that.
Capuano spent a little bit of time with the Yankees last year. Had a tough year with the Yanks. Was only there for part of the season. 0-4 record, 22 appearances, 4 starts with a 7.97 earned run average. He will turn 38 later on this summer. Gratterall backs out of the box. Capuano with the Diamondbacks, Brewers, Mets, Dodgers, Red Sox, Yankees. And here's the pitch. That's high. If he does make the Brewers opening day roster, his second go-around with them. He pitched for them from 2004 through 2010. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Lefty steps his foot off the rubber. Time called. Capuano's had a good spring. 6th appearance. He's allowed 2 earned runs. 7 2/3 innings coming in. He's had a save for them. And the next pitch, and that's off speed, and that fools Gratterall. Struck him out.
Yeah, he's always had a solid changeup, and that was a good one there.
So Gratterall is retired. And now Rafael Ortega will bat for the first time today. He's hitting out of Pennington's number 7 spot. You're just tuning in or rejoining us. We're in the 8th, and the Angels are up 3-1, and that's been the score since the 3rd inning.
There's been some double plays in this game.
Yeah, both sides.
Lefty-lefty matchup, and Capuano's pitch. That's outside. It misses. 1-0 the count. We'll check out the Ram out-of-town scoreboard for you on this Monday in just a moment. It's brought to you by the Ram 1500. Here's the next pitch, and that's low and away. I want to remind you the Ram 1500, it's available with Eco Diesel V6. It gets an estimated 29 miles per gallon highway. Visit ramtrucks.com to learn more. Cactus League action. White Sox doubling up the Indians 4-2 in the 6th. Colorado leads Texas 9-4 in the 7th. Here's the next pitch, and that's in there for a called strike. 7th inning. A's leading the Giants 6-4. Matt Chapman has hit his 4th home run for Oakland this spring.
There's always a player or two that you just don't expect to do a whole lot for Oakland. Seems to swing the bat well and carry it into the season.
Here's the pitch. That's fouled back behind the plate. And mentioning Oakland, the Angels will be hosting the A's tomorrow, so maybe we'll see more Matt Chapman with the 4 spring training homers for the A's. And Seattle doubling up the Dodgers 6-3 in the 7th inning. Nelson Cruz has hit his 2nd home run this spring for the Mariners. Here's the next delivery. That one is low. It skips away from the new catcher, Josemiel Pinto. And moving over to third base is Petit. So that's got to be a wild pitch. 2-out base runner at third. And now Petit wants to go out and have a quick word with Chris Capuano.
Yeah, sliding in the dirt. The rotation that baseball once it hits the dirt. Pinto couldn't keep that in front of him.
Mentioned the Brewers having a couple of games. Their other game against Arizona has yet to get started.
Boy, the Diamondbacks have played well here in spring training.
Yep, that's going to be a night game against the D-backs later on tonight. And the pitch, and that is ball 4. Ortega waits out a walk. So the inning continues for the Angels runners at the corners. Nick Buss will be the batter. He's hitting out a Gentry spot. Craig Gentry was 0 for 3 today. So we'll see if Buss can come through. In the limited action he's had this spring for the Angels, he's done a good job. Another left-handed batter, and a toss over to first. Ortega gets back. Buss is 10 for 25 this spring with 6 runs batted in, a couple of stolen bases.
If Capuano's role, Craig Counsell will love to see him be able to neutralize left-handed batters. Walked Ortega. Another lefty here to see what he can do.
Here's the pitch, and Buss was showing signs of bunting and ends up taking that pitch for a strike. Fans, don't forget, every moment matters. Join us all season long for select Saturday night post-game fireworks at the Big A, presented by Wells Fargo. You can purchase your Saturday night game tickets today at angels.com or just call 714-4ANGELS. Operators are standing by. Here's the next delivery, and this one is lifted foul in the air, and it's going to go back to the seats behind the Angels dugout on the left side. So no balls, 2 strikes on Nick Buss. Capuano ready, runner at first goes. That's Ortega, and that's a called third strike on Buss. So he is out looking, and Capuano ends up striking out the side. The Angels weren't too happy with that call to end the inning. We're headed to the bottom of the 8th. Halos up by a couple. It's 3-1 Angels on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Bottom of the 8th at Maryvale Ballpark, northwest part of Phoenix. Angels have a 3-1 lead, and the Angels make a couple of moves out in the field. Deolis Guerra will take over for Cody Satterwhite and be the new Angel pitcher, the 7th of the day. And there's a new first baseman, Eric Aguilera, replaces C.J. Cron. Bottom of the 8th, it's being brought to you today by our friends at Rotolo Chevrolet in Fontana. Rotolo Chevrolet is pursuing excellence every day. Visit them at rotolo.com. That's rotolo.com. And the first pitch, that is right in there for a called strike. Flores batting. He's been in there all day long in center field, 0 for 3 today. Guerra is set, and here's the next pitch. That one misses for a ball.
Another solid bullpen arm for Mike Scioscia we've seen in spring training.
7th appearance for him this spring. 6 2/3 innings. He's struck out 8, allowed 7 hits, 4 earned runs, and there's one chopped foul over by the batter waiting on deck. So it's 1 ball, 2 strikes. Corey Rasmus started the game. We've seen Houston Street, Joe Smith, Al Albuquerque, Cam Bedrosian, Cody Satterwhite, and now Deolis Guerra. Big right-hander ready. Here's the next pitch. It's lifted high and pretty deep into left center, but it's hanging up, and camping under is the left fielder Ji-Man Choi to put that one away. 1 gone. Garrett Cooper is the batter.
Fans getting a little loud here.
I don't know. Maybe Garrett Cooper has a lot of fans here today.
This is SoCal native.
Here's the pitch. And that one on him. He takes it for ball 1. It's 1 ball, no strikes. Cooper up from minor league camp. Right-handed batter. He's had 1 at bat this spring, 0 for 1. And the next delivery, he chops that one down to third, smothered nicely by Marte. The throw will take the first baseman Aguilera off the bag, but able to apply the tag. That's the 2nd out.
Yeah, Cooper hit that ball hard, but Marte, nice play. Aguilera was able to get off the base and apply the tag after the wide throw.
Garrett Cooper, who went to Loyola High School, resides in Manhattan Beach, and is now in his 5th season in the Milwaukee organization, rounding out. Played some college baseball at Auburn, did Garrett Cooper.
The big hurt went there. Frank Thomas, Bo Jackson, amongst others.
Pitch on its way. That one is in there for a called strike. Cooper, who just grounded out, pretty big guy, 6'5", 230 pounder.
Him and Carter at first base today. They got the jump ball down to an art.
Neuenhuis is at the plate with 2 outs, no one on. First pitch was in there, and so is that one. And he's quickly in the hole, 0-2. Today's attendance, 5,682, 56-82. And the 2-strike delivery, Neuenhuis with a lazy fly ball into left field. Coming in is Choi. He's not going to be able to get to it in time. It'll drop in front of him. Going back to retrieve it is Baldachin. So that one bloops in. It's in the air for a while, but Choi unable to quite get to it. So a 2-out hit.
Good placement of this fly ball in one of those areas where it's difficult for anybody to be able to be in position to catch that. Choi came running in. Baldachin going back. Kind of like your lob wedge back at Walnut Lane back in Philadelphia, Terry Smith.
I never thought you would drop in a Walnut Lane on me on the air, Goose, but that's priceless. The old public course.
Yes.
That's right. Here's the pitch. That one is low. And then, of course, you would go from there and get a cheesesteak at Alessandro's.
Alessandro's.
That's right.
Jimmy Fallon earlier this year had a cheesesteak.
He did?
At D'Alessandra's. He heard it was the best, and he agreed.
Oh, it is the
when
best.
When you got Jimmy Fallon saying that, you know it's pretty good.
There you go.
Here's the next delivery, and this is popped up. Backing out of play. At the plate is the new catcher, Josmiel Pinto. They have on the scoreboard Manny Pena batting, but this is Pinto, who replaced Pena.
By the way, D'Alessandra's was rated #1 this past year in a number of publications in 2015 as far as best cheesesteak in Philly. Just giving you a little nugget there for you, Smitty.
Thank you. Here's the pitch, chopped out towards short. Baldacchini diving stop, shovels the ball to second late. Boy, he did such a good job to get to that one, and then he just kind of shoveled the ball over to Petit, but the runner got there in time, Neuenhuis, so that'll be a base hit, infield single.
What a play he made, though, Baldacchini. What range, the full dive. Excellent play. Didn't get quite enough on it to be able to get the out at second, but unbelievable range.
And now Presley will be the batter. So Presley's day, 2 for 3 with a couple singles and 1 run batted in. They have the go-ahead run at the plate. It's 3-1 Angels, 2 outs, bottom of the 8th. The pitch, cut and a miss for strike 1. Guerra got the first 2 batters here in this inning, and with 2 outs, they've had back-to-back hits. Angel right-hander is ready to come in with the next one, and that's a little bit low. Gratterall smothering that low pitch. Fans, don't forget, if your computer is running slow, go to mycleanpc.com. Get a free computer diagnosis. In minutes, you can activate MyClean software to clean out the junk that may be slowing down your computer. Check them out at mycleanpc.com. Here's the 1-1 pitch. A little bit low.
Just quickly updating Angel fans about the starting staff news we had. Tyler Skaggs going to pitch in a Cactus League game on Thursday. Jared Weaver bounced back solid today from his 4 innings of work yesterday. And C.J. Wilson looks like he's about 2 weeks away potentially from going back on the mound and starting his throwing program.
Here's the next delivery. Fly ball lifted into center field. Buss is going back. Has a beat on it. Reaches up, puts it away, and that's how the inning will end. So they threaten, but fail to score to the Brewers here in the bottom of the 8th. We're headed to the 9th inning. 3-1 Angels on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. New pitcher in the game for Milwaukee as we head to the 9th inning. Tyler Cravey is his name. And he gets ready to face the Angels. So he replaces Capuano, who ended up striking out the side in the top of the 8th. Capuano also gave up a hit, but no runs and walked a batter. And Cravey becomes their 5th pitcher of the day. Their starter, Matt Garza, worked the first 5 innings. Here's the first pitch from Cravey, and that's in there for a called strike. Cravey working for the 7th time this spring for Milwaukee, and in 6 2/3 innings, he's given up 8 hits and 3 earned runs. Right-hander delivers, pretty quick worker. Marte at the plate takes that one outside. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes the next pitch. That's lined into left field, but they're waiting, and under, making the catch is Lewinheis. Out number 1.
They win it. Is that the pitch?
Giovanni Soto is going to bat.
I didn't give a great statement.
Here's the pitch. That is a pitch that missed inside. 1 ball, no strikes.
This guy was out.
Soto is hitting out a Simmons leadoff spot, and Drolton was the DH today. He went 0 for 4. And there's a pitch that will even up the count. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I love it.
Here's the next pitch from Cravey, and that is a pitch that misses ball 2. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Next delivery, big cut and a miss. Pretty good fastball right there. Threw it by him.
Yeah, very difficult to catch up to a fastball, especially upstairs like that.
Here's the next delivery, and that is a called 3rd strike, and out looking as the 2nd batter in the inning for the Angels, Giovanni Soto. So here's Marte at the plate.
By the way, Terry, it's been a pleasure working with you this past week. We'll be heading on back tomorrow to L.A.
Here's the pitch on its way. That one bounces in. Yeah, Jose will be back, and yeah, we appreciate you spending about the last week with us here in the Cactus League. Had a good time on the broadcast together.
Seen a lot of good things from the club this week. I love the way they've been swinging, the way they've been running the bases. The bullpen has been excellent. Some good starts from the starters, and guys are getting healthier. And that's a good sign. Really looking forward to watching the game when Tyler Skaggs comes in, pitches on Thursday. Weaver getting a start himself on his regular day coming up this week.
Here's the next pitch, and that's in there for a called strike. So the count jumps to 1-2.
And we'll enjoy. I'll miss those rides over here to these ballparks. The scenic routes we've taken.
Well, we've kind of cleaned that up a little bit.
Yes, we have. You've been a good navigator.
There's one that's lined right behind second. Stopped nicely, though. And getting up and throwing over to first base is Elmore. That was a nice play. And that's how the inning will end. It'll go down as a 4-3 ground out to end the inning. Angels are retired here in the 9th, and we are headed to the bottom of the 9th. It's 3-1 Angels on the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West. Angels right-hander Deolis Guerra in for his second inning. Will start things off with a pitch a little bit low on the first batter, Jake Elmore. Elmore made that nice play out near second base to retire Marte, and the Angels in the top of the ninth, bottom of the ninth. Angels up 3-1. Guerra's second inning now, and that pitch in there for a called strike. 3-1 Angels, the score. Our score update brought to you by Experian. Get serious about your credit by visiting Experian.com. Mark Gubasov is headed downstairs. He'll visit with Angels manager Mike Scioscia after the ball game. We'll let you eavesdrop on that conversation. Pitch missed on the 1-1. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. Elmore's had a 1-for-3 day. And here's the next pitch. That is low, ball 3, 3-1. Talked about Guerra this spring, and this is Deolis Guerra. The Angels also have reliever Javi Guerra in camp, and they've each done nice jobs. Here's the pitch. That's lined into left center field. Chasing after it, unable to get to it is Choi. Ball will go out to the wall. The center fielder Buss will pick the ball up by the time he throws it back to the infield. At second is Elmore, and he is there with a leadoff double. So Rivera will be the batter. He's gone all the way for them at shortstop today. He's had a 1-for-2 ball game. But the Angels have to decide before the start of the regular season whether or not they're going to hold on to this Deolis Guerra. He's a Rule 5 pitcher from the Pirates. They cannot send him down to the minors if they don't keep him on the opening day roster. Here's the pitch. That's right in there for a called strike. G-Man Choi, who's playing left field. We've seen him play a lot of first base. He's in that same situation as well, being a Rule 5 draftee by the Angels. Angels getting him from the Orioles. And he had formerly played in the Mariners organization. Here's the pitch. That's a breaking ball a little bit low. 1-1 is the count on Rivera. Infield is backed up. Guerra is ready, and the right-hander's pitch. He bounces that one in. 2 balls, 1 strike. So for a guy fighting for a spot in the Angel bullpen, this appearance of very important one here for Gary. Pitched out of some trouble last inning, gave up a couple of 2-out hits, but they didn't score. They're threatening here in the bottom of the ninth, and they have the tying run at the plate. Nobody out. Here's the next pitch. That's lifted high and hit deep into left field. Going back is Choi, and that one is gone. 2-run homer. The 3rd home run of the year for Yadiel Rivera, and this ball game is all tied up 3-3. So we'll have a pinch hitter stepping up. Jacob Nottingham. He bats out of the number 8 spot. 3-3 the score here. Nobody out. Bottom of the ninth. The Angels have been playing a lot of games that have ended in ties here. 4 of them, in fact, this spring. And now another game tied up in the bottom of the ninth. Here's the pitch. A cut and a miss. Nottingham going down to a knee chasing that one. He's out of Redlands High School. This pinch hitter, young catcher Jacob Nottingham. He was acquired from the Oakland A's just last month. And the next pitch, a big cut, and he misses that one. Count goes to 1-2. Home run here in this inning, the first one for Milwaukee today. Angels have not had a home run today. Here's the pitch. That's fouled back to our right out of play, and the count stays 1 ball, 2 strikes. Angels have some action in the bullpen. Counts a ball and 2 strikes, and the next one on Nottingham. That's low. It misses for a ball. Nottingham limited at bats this spring for Milwaukee, but he's made the most of it. 3 for 7. That's a batting average of over 400. Count is 2-2. And the next pitch, he went reaching, did Nottingham, and fouls that one off.
Stay on it. Go.
Fans, here's the deal for you. $19.95 gets you Proactive, plus a rotating deep cleansing brush valued at $45. You're guaranteed to get clear, stay clear, or you'll get your money back. Just call 1-800-644-5944. That's 1-800-644-5944. Here's the 2-2 again, and that ball is blasted into left center field, and that's going to win the ball game. No doubter. Pinch hit home run here by Nottingham, and it's a walk-off home run to win it. The Brewers come away with a 4-3 victory, scoring 3 times in the bottom of the 9th. Guerra, who gave up the back-to-back homers after he just gave up that game winner to Nottingham, he was standing out on the mound waiting for the home plate umpire, Chris Siegel, to throw him back another baseball, unaware of what the score was. That wins it for Milwaukee today, the walk-off homer. And the Brewers come back with the 3 in the bottom of the 9th and beat the Angels today by the final score of 4-3. A rough outing today for Guerra. Again, a pitcher fighting for a spot. One of the final spots you would have to think in the Angel bullpen. So a tough one today for the Halos as the Angels go down again by the final score of 4-3. We're going to take you down to the field near the Angels dugout, third base side. Mark Ubisoft standing by with Angels manager Mike Scioscia.
Thanks, Terry. Other than the end of the game there, Scioscia, a lot of positives, certainly with the pitching and the way you guys were swinging and running the bases early on.
A lot of good things, Gooby. It was tough at the end there where D just couldn't get some pitches where he wanted to. But I think all in all, there were a lot of good things. Some things in the batter's box maybe we didn't get done with the guys on third base or moving some runners. But these guys are running the bases well, and some guys are really getting into their game.
How good was to see Mike Trout lay down that bunt for an infield hit?
Yeah, and it's there for him. He's going to take advantage of it, and he got one today.
Well, Crone and Calhoun both had some good swings, especially to be able to go first and third on pretty good pitches going away, and both went the opposite way.
Yeah, I think, Cole got jammed a little bit and got it, but Crone on a hit and run found the 4-hole, and we got another first and third situation. So, I think we were working on some situational things today, and a lot of things came through, and it's the way we're going to have to play at times.
Houston Street, Joe Smith, very good today, too.
Yeah, those guys are good. We're almost joking with Joe Smith. He almost had a 1-2-3 inning, which never happens for him in Arizona. But those guys will be there when the season starts. They're really getting close to being ready for the season. They've got a couple more tune-ups and ready to go.
Thanks, Coach. I appreciate it. Safe trip back.
Thank you.
All right, Terry, back to you. Pleasure working with you, Terry, this whole entire time down here in the Cactus League.
You got it, Mark. Always a pleasure. Mark Ubisoft joining us, and he will be joined in just a few minutes on the TV side. With him today, Patrick O'Neill, and they'll have more post-game analysis coming up on Fox Sports West on Angels Live. Again, the final score today from Maryvale Baseball Park. The Brewers with a 4-3 victory against the Angels. On the radio side, we'll have some more for you from Maryvale as well. Again, 4-3, Milwaukee wins it. This is the Angels Baseball Radio Network and Fox Sports West.